This video of Jeremy Monga to Arsenal personal terms agreed is powered by Think Landscaping. They design, they plan, they transform. They design, plan, and maintain stunning outdoor spaces that add value, beauty, and function to your property. Now, they do landscape designing, compound planning, installation, maintenance, irrigation systems, boost property value, enhances beauty and comfort, sustainable and eco-friendly, expert team quality services. You understand? So if at all you have your garden, compound, green spaces, this is the team you're supposed to obviously call onto those numbers you're seeing onto that artwork in there for you. +256 703 004168. That is the WhatsApp number. And if at all you want to call them directly, holler them at 0765 280 470. That is Think Landscaping in there for you. And when you work with them, you won't regret. And I told you that we are back with some sponsors. If at all you want to advertise with us, you can as well email us and all tap into the link in the description box below, and you obviously tell us how you want to advertise with us, and we'll tell you our rates in here onto the Rokani Media Football. Now, in this particular video, we are talking Jeremy Monga, and it looks like after this video, the next thing to do will be a here we go in there for you. Then we're obviously going to be talking about Mbappe and the World Cup. It's really coming close, and today being the 6th of June, that means we are left with 4 days for the World Cup to open up in Mexico in there for you. So, smash the like button, comment, and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having super fun wherever you are. And just continue, guys, to subscribe. Do the needful and really subscribe, because we want to hit that magic number of 30,000 subscribers. And as we speak right now, if I check our channel, we are left with 26 subscribers to hit 29,200. So I'm liking the pace at which you're obviously moving on, and you guys are the orchestrators of this movement, and that's why I really value you hugely. Now, Jeremy Monga is one of those players that has gone ahead to catch a lot of attention, a lot of attention on Man City, Manchester United, and very many others. Jacobs Ben says about 8 clubs in the Premier League are really interested, and I've also gone ahead to see some teams in Germany, Dortmund and Bayer Leverkusen, also coming in through for this guy in there for you. And I tell you what, it has been really a struggle for Arsenal to get this. And the moment they've gone ahead to reach this, I tell you, looks like they have the grip of Jeremy Monga. And this his hand of Ozil. This guy is really so special, and he is what we call the fly on the walls of Arsenal. He has told us that exclusive. Arsenal have now agreed full personal terms with Jeremy Monga. Still work to be done on the mechanism of his exit, as the English champions want to close the deal. As I understand it, Andre Batha met with the English team Sensationals entourage and laid out a pathway similar to that of Max Dowman at the club. A loan move for Monga cannot be ruled out once the teenager is settled. Monga has given full preference to Arsenal over multiple clubs, including Man City and Bayer Leverkusen. And scouting indoors was the man that has gone ahead to obviously do this, and hand of Ozil has gone ahead to obviously give him his flowers. Now, I've always gone ahead to say this. Remember, I warned Arsenal, when they started losing their youngsters. Arteta had not included these youngsters in his plan. You remember, Hutchinson, there is Walters. They are close to 10 players that left the club of Arsenal, that caused their doers of this world, the Chido Obi, Aiden Heaven, who would have gone ahead to be very influential into what Arsenal is achieving right now. If at all, the manager of Arsenal had gone ahead to integrate them very well into the first team. And if at all, he had gone ahead to obviously create what we call a direct pathway from what we call the academy to the top team. Now, after losing out on all these players, Hutchinson, Koza Dubry, by the way, he's really doing great and on his loan in the championship, and I think he's one of those that Brighton might use in the Premier League next season. Then you can talk about a player called Aiden Heaven. You see him at Man United representing. You see Chido Obi Martin is also doing wondrous where he is at Man United and is in there for you. Now, when they saw that, they were like, Miles Lewis-Kelly, Ethan Nwaneri, they will obviously miss out and also follow the pathway of these other players. Because for Hutchinson, he went to Chelsea, things they went on well, loaned, I think, to Ipswich, brought them, promoted them to the Premier League, and he was sold to Ipswich, and then Ipswich, when they got relegated, they sold him to Nottingham Forest. I think that's where he is right now. So that is Hutchinson, and he's really flying. Aiden Heaven, you've seen him in that season when they took him to Man United. He played very well. Chido Obi Martin in the team of Man United under Ruben Amorim. You remember? So that is really very important for any player, and for any manager to come up and obviously do the needful. It really calls in for that. So as it stands right now, Arsenal knew to it that they had really misfired on those talents. And now, what was their plan? The season, remember, they went Chido Obi Martin and Aiden Heaven. I think they left in the season of 2023-2024. Now, the season of 2024-2025, Arteta went ahead to give minutes to one, Ethan Nwaneri, because they needed him to sign a professional contract with Arsenal in 2017. Then this other guy, Miles Lewis-Kelly. And they featured predominantly into the teams, though Miles Lewis-Kelly was the standout player amongst all. But even Ethan Nwaneri also went ahead, obviously, getting more minutes, because you remember he scored very many goals, and he featured in very many games for the club of Arsenal. Big ones and those mediocre ones in there for you. So they got them at their grip. Now this season, they brought in Max Dorman. Now, Max Dorman is the game changer of all this. Why is it a game changer? Because he's 15. I think he made his debut when he's 15, and he's going to break very many records. He has even scored a goal. Now, when Jeremy Monga and his entourage are sat in a meeting with Andre Bartha, the sporting director of Arsenal, there is no way he cannot get excited or coming through to play for the club known as Arsenal. He will be very, very excited, as they'll show him Max Dorman. That Dorman has made it into the first team, and you can also make it into the first team. And if you believe in yourself, Arsenal can be a platform to obviously raise your talent to the world. That is it. And Andre Bartha won't be the man responsible for other youngsters who are not really getting in enough playing time at Arsenal, because ever since he came in through, youngsters are really getting in through enough time. And he can even give him an example of Begiristan, because the child will need assurance that if I prove my worth, will I obviously get into the team? Will be like, sporting directors are the heads of the team. That is it. So, not the heads of the team. Sporting directors are the heads of the coach. Now, in the hierarchy, this guy, Andre Bartha, is the boss of Mikel Arteta. That is it. So, he can tell him the guy has come of age and experience. Though he has not gone ahead to come of age and experience, throw him into the team. Let him start training with the first team, because he needs to earn it, And he'll give him an example of this Norwegian guy. Is it Oscar Bob at Man City? Do you know who threw the order to Pep to throw him to the first team training? It was Begiristan, the sporting director. And obviously, such calls have been made because the sporting directors are everywhere. By the way, it's very hard to find this guy seeing the training sessions of the first team. That is it. he's so much onto those academy games and so on and so forth, because he needs a report from every side, and then he goes and watches and then comes and tells them, please, the guy is ready. So throw him into the team. You understand? So that's all about a team known as Arsenal. Jeremy Monga, full personal terms. Mark that word. Full personal terms. They've agreed on everything. The salary he's going to be earning. Remember, right now, his parents are still in the control of his man and so on and so forth. Then the contract details. And obviously, the most important contract is that one that will come in through after he turns 17, because Arsenal want to take him before he turns 17. I think he's turning 17. Is it in October this year? So they want to obviously take him to see to it that he signs that pre-contract, and by the time this year ends, he'll be a fully fit player for the club of Arsenal. But as I've always told you in the videos I'm going to do about this guy, I do believe in him. That is it. Because when the way he's not all that a tall lad, but the way he uses his upper body, to obviously take off these people, it's really very amazing. And he's a joy to watch, I tell you. He is indeed a joy to watch, I tell you. So that is it about Jeremy Monga. Personal terms agreed. Now we are waiting to see how everything really goes on. But Andre Batha, good job done. And I think he's really doing something great in there for you. And considering a loan cannot be ruled out. Now, obviously, the level at which Jeremy Monga has been, you have to really think about him. He has been playing at Leicester in the Championship, meaning that he's a Championship level. And that means when you get him to play in the unders of Arsenal, you are obviously like belittling him a little bit, because he has a big head on young shoulders. That is the guy we are talking about. So let no one lie to you that putting him in the academy will obviously help him. Unless otherwise, Arsenal sees him as that boy in the preseason that can get into the first 11. And I think he'll be part of the preseason for the club of Arsenal, right? And by the way, let me check. One of the things I haven't obviously gone ahead to pay a lot of attention to is the Arsenal preseason. I don't know. I hadn't even gone ahead to obviously look at the fixtures. Now, Arsenal, so far, the confirmed game is Arsenal versus Real Betis at the Aviva Stadium, Dublin. Obviously, that is one of those. But I think they really have some other games to play, though they are not yet confirmed. I do believe. Arsenal preseason. Arsenal preseason fixtures. Let's see. So it's one game so far that has been really planned. You understand? And I don't know why it's that like that, but we're waiting to see how things will obviously pan out. So we might have a chance to have a look at him in the preseason for the club of Arsenal. And I do believe that a club known as Arsenal will transform this lad into a better player. So we wait to see how things really pan out for the club known as Arsenal. But they've gone ahead to obviously finish the deal of this guy known as Jeremy Monga. It's nearing a finish. It's like 99% loading, Here we go. We'll come in through. He'll do the medical, and the rest will be history. That is it. Now, from there, let's head to Kylian Mbappe. World Cup is coming, and Kylian Mbappe has come up and really said, I dream of facing Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar at the World Cup. It will be their last World Cup. That's what Kylian Mbappe has gone ahead to say, that he dreams to play Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar at the World Cup. Now, the World Cup is starting, as I told you, 4 days from now. And it's really the biggest sporting event in the world. If you know any sporting event that is bigger than the World Cup, name it. The World Cup happens every 4 years, and that's what makes it so special. It collects all the talents of the world. And Kylian Mbappe hinting on playing against Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar in the World Cup. You never know, it might really happen. Last time in the World Cup final, he played against Argentina, Lionel Messi, and he tested the wrath of Lionel Messi. You understand? He tested the wrath of Lionel Messi. And indeed, Lionel Messi went ahead to obviously win the World Cup. But Mbappe went ahead to obviously show who he is with the hat-trick he scored in the World Cup final. Now, the other guy, he's talking of Ronaldo. Ronaldo is in the Portuguese team. And by the way, amongst the 5 favorites, I'm obviously going to be talking about to win the World Cup. Portugal is one of those, and Ronaldo is going to be a key figure in the decisions he'll obviously make. You know, he needs to know the number of minutes are supposed to play and then let the Goncalo Ramoses take over because they are firebrands than him as it stands right now. He's a legend and he's really a very good player, respected in the game. And if at all he wants Portugal to win the World Cup, he should know the number of minutes for him to play. That is it. And for full dedication in there for you. Then Neymar having problems with the calf in there for you, with his calf. So with his ankle, it's really swollen. But he's going to be at the World Cup. Confirmed. And Mbappe shouldn't be one asking for these teams. I tell you. Though you understand that to be a champion, you need to beat all the strong teams surrounding you. That is it. To be a champion, you need to be that good. So, I've always told people that Brazil has always gone ahead to come in through and obviously put out a very huge shift in there for you. And that shift has, for a very long period of time, gone unnoticed because they've lacked a manager. Now, if you are Kylian Mbappe and you are calling in for Brazil, you'll test the bitterness of your own ask. I tell you. Brazil is really very important. And Carlo Ancelotti is the big factor. So, Kylian Mbappe, I think, was managed by Carlo Ancelotti for one season, if at all I'm not mistaken, right? And before Alonso came in through that season of 2024-2025. He knows him and his values. France has a very good team. But I think Brazil has a team that can beat France. That is it. I tell you. Brazil has a team that can beat France. When you look at their front line and so on and so forth, I'll break down these things in the video. I'm obviously going to be dropping, I think, 2 days from now about who are my favorites to win the World Cup. So, Brazil, for your information, for me, speaks volumes. That is it. So, the two teams, he's obviously hinting on, he knows to it that they're the most favorites, you know. He cannot talk about Argentina because Argentina destroyed him at the final. You know that very well. But he really looked a hero. But he was really one of those people that came in through and obviously put in a very huge shift. So we wait and see when he faces Neymar. He has ever played with Neymar in the same team. That is PSG. For Ronaldo, they've never met at any single team to play together. But he feels like he should face a team known as Portugal in there for you. Now, he was also asked onto the fine I've already told you about when he scored a hat-trick and Messi took away the World Cup. I did never rewatch that 2022 World Cup final. Never. If I watch it, it might awaken some demons. We have to move on. We lost. So, sportsmanship. That's what it's called. You admit that we lost totally, and we should go ahead and really rebuild for the future. That is it. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in on daily. I'm calling in for your reactions in the comment section below about those particular stories. But remember, we've been powered by Think. You know, They design, plan, and maintain standing outdoor spaces that add value, beauty, and function to your property. So call them on those numbers. You'll thank me later. They'll do you justice, and you will obviously enjoy. You see how those compounds are really looking? If you need your compound to look like that, your garden to look like that, your so on and so forth, outdoor look like that, think landscaping is the way to go. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and we keep on adjusting, and more videos are really coming up. England is playing, by the way, today. 11 p.m. I'll be watching that beautiful game of football and let you know in the Match Day Live.